how you feel and what you're saying. We don't have any issues with that. But if we can have an opportunity to answer their questions, because Mr. Pryor said he's gonna cut it off.
Let's go 1, 2. We'll go 1, 2 right there for right now.
Chief, there were other officers in that video. Did any of them ever come forth and say that Slager was not telling the truth?
To my knowledge, nobody was witness to anything but Slager.
Chief, two of your sergeants have said statements that CPR was performed by Officer Habersham. Officer Habersham just says the pressure did not perform CPR. Was CPR ever performed on this man, as far as you know?
I'm gonna be totally honest with you.
Do that.
I am. And give me just a second. The honesty comes from my heart. I have watched the video, and I was sickened by what I saw.
I don't.
And I have not watched it since. But in that end, because I've been receiving a lot of phone calls and a lot of emails, in the end of it, what I saw was...
That's when he started shooting you. Look 15 yards away from him.
Police officer removing the shirt.
He's a danger, eh?
And performing some type of life-saving. But I'm not sure what took place there.
But you don't know if CPR was performed.
I do not know. I was told that life-saving, that they tried to save his life when we got to it.
And if I can further elaborate, should CPR be performed right away in a situation like that after you know that everybody's safe? And who was that first officer on the scene, the African-American officer? Which is that Habersham?
Yes.
Chief, so should that have been performed?
We see them dropping something. We see the officer dropping something near the body, but it's not clear what that is. A lot of people have suggested that what the officer was dropping was a taser. Do you have any information on that?
We have turned, and we're under no obligation to turn an investigation over. We could have investigated this ourselves. But we chose to turn it over to SLED because that's the right thing to do. To have an independent agency do the investigation. There are questions that I have in my mind that I can't answer right now. And those questions are going to have to be answered by Scarlett Wilson, the solicitor, and by SLED. And I can't answer those questions. And so I would just refer those specific questions to the people who have investigated this to the fullest extent.
Right, next question, right there. Right here.
Do you have police procedures in place? What are your procedures? And were they followed?
Obviously not.
Do you have procedures in place for dealing with a wounded suspect or victim, or are there procedures in place?
And the normal procedure to handcuff him after he's shot.
Let me get, hold on, wait a minute, let me answer the questions for you that we can answer. First of all, we don't have all the information. Both. I'm asking you to respect me as I'm going to respect you. Okay. And I'm talking to the media. Okay? I've got, the people can hear. We're about to close this press conference. We're about to close the press conference.
What are you talking about the media, bro? Citizens.
Scholar, you had a question.
Why did the city not turn into a Ferguson, given that you have the shooting of an unarmed black man by a white police officer? What do you think prevented the Coleman?
It's not prevented yet. This happened on Tuesday. Chill out, bro. What do you mean? Hopefully it does turn into a fucking Ferguson.
What was right. We turned the investigation over to
I hope it does turn into
it does not work for the mayor and does not work for the chief. We also then tried to get all the information that we could and turn over to them, And that's why some of the questions that are being asked today, we don't have that evidence. That evidence was presented to SLED. We gave them everything that we have. They're the ones that really need to answer any questions about investigation. And well, hold on, I'm still answering, Skylar. Yes, sir.
When did you start to believe that there was something wrong with the officer's story and there might have been a videotape explaining
When the video came out.
that it didn't match?
I saw the videotape yesterday for the first time.
Did you believe your officer until you saw the videotape?
Yes. Don't lie.
I had no reason to rely on anything but the evidence that we have, and I was not engaged in the investigation, so I did not have the evidence.
You're the mayor. Where's the chief of police? You're the mayor. We want to talk to the chief of police.
Go to the question, this young lady right here.
Young lady, yes, ma'am.
The mayor don't need to be the police chief.
It's actually recommended when the witness who there said this is not the man that was the suspect in a crime that should be committed. How is he exonerated just like this? He's done some second point he's not the suspect.
He went through a process that goes through the department, and that's part of the personnel file. We'll be glad to release it to you.
Is that the only chief? Is that the only taser?
Yeah, with the exception of it.
Yes, sir.
The chief or chief.
Did the
Not
taser
fired.
have a camera? What about them?
The taser does not have a camera.
A lot of this community
Chief, does the taser have a camera?
80% of the police department, as I understand it, is white. Is it time for that to change?
Let me say that we recruit African American members to the police department.
Look at her shake her head. Shake, no you don't. Don't fucking lie.
As a police officer, we're more than willing to hire. The problem is we have a very limited number.
No, the problem is all of the black men got charged with gram of marijuana and all of them can't join any fucking police force.
Minority police officers to work for us.
This gentleman with the hand.
Was there ever a fight over the taser? I mean, was there any truth to what the officer said?
I think that if you get all of...
What are you still thinking? The video showed it. The mayor no more respects you.
Thank you.
The answer to your question, sir, is that if you are made privy to all of the
Fucking CBC lies.
I have not seen all
Read
the
the,
video.
read this
Therefore,
protesters
I can't
question.
answer the
Oh.
questions.
Andrew.
There's the car video. SLED has that. And what I understand, the video that I saw was not all of the video that exists. We only were able to look at what was given to us. I haven't seen it.
Right here.
Yes, sir.
We want triggers.
Go.
We want triggers. We want triggers. We want triggers. We want triggers. We want triggers.
Go.
Yes, sir. I need a little bit louder.
What is the make and model of the handgun?
I have.
We can leave that get that information to you. I am not that familiar with guns.
Mr. Mayor, with all due respect, Chief, with all due respect, sir, could you please explain to the people why it is that you won't allow Chief Triggers to answer? I can speak for myself. I can speak for myself, please, respect. Why, the people would like to know why it is that you won't allow the police chief to answer police-related matters, even though we know that you are the man in charge. We understand that, but the people are asking for the chief to answer these questions.
Because the chief is not allowed to answer any questions about the investigation because there's another agency doing the investigation. They are not giving us permission to release that information. We don't have it.
He's a contact person, but we can verify that.
What is the Tom Berry with SLED?
This gentleman right here.
Yes, sir.
We talked to SLED the last time we talked to them. They said that Officer Slager had not provided his official narrative to the investigation you guys heading up to SLED, has Officer Flager provided his official account of what happened?
That is, again, SLED is who he gives that to. We do not get that.
SLED is saying he doesn't have, so as far as you know, he has not given his official narrative of what happened.
That, again, that's something that SLED would have to answer.
Is there clear, you had not to say that yes, he is still involved in the investigation, or is he fired and gone?
He is terminated. He is terminated. He is no longer here.
Is he not even involved in the investigation at this point? He's not involved.
I think what we're trying to tell you, we're not doing the investigation.
I understand that.
SLED is, so therefore they are the agency that has to give you any information from the investigation.
It's the last gentleman.
That is standard policy across the country.
This is the last gentleman right here.
Bullshit.
Right here. Yes, sir.
Given what's happened, are you now taking a look at this officer's other arrests and other cases?
We are. That is something that we'll have to move to in the future. We're still waiting on all the information to come back to us from SLED. That's right. That's right.
It's something you're considering. You are considering looking at the other cases.
They will do that.
Other arrests you made, other incidents you had with other residents.
We will look at that. Any questions anybody has, we're more than willing to look at it.
Thank them in that.
That has to come with the investigation. And so I can't tell you until we know exactly if there were any other officers engaged or involved before I can tell you that there would be any type of punishment that would go out.
What was their role? What was their role with other officers? Somebody can tell me.
The only role that I know from what I saw from the video was the first officer that responded, and he came up to the gentleman laying on the ground and was checking me out. I did see one of the officers at one time check. My understanding that there's more video than I saw, and that the other officer, not every officer is CPR certified. With that, it's over. Thank you.
Oh my God, he got